Hello friends, welcome you all in the video Introduction to Linked List. In this video we are going to discuss what is linked list and how to construct a linked list, what are different types of linked list and what are different applications of linked list. In our last videos we have discussed regarding the stack and queue. They comes under non-primitive linear data structure. So here, as we know that all these data structures are nothing but they are way of organizing the data with respect to its relationship. As we have discussed in the stack also, stack is also a data structure that follows some principle, that is first in last out or last in first out. Similarly, queue we have discussed that follows the principle of first in first out. So in this way the data items are organized based upon certain principles, based upon certain procedures, and every data structure is having its own applications. They are designed with respect to their applications and with respect to their principles, and they are having their applications in various fields of programming and other related operating system operations and other programming applications. So like that, today we are going to discuss regarding linked list. So as we know that linked list is also a data structure. So it is nothing but a linked list is nothing but it is a linear data structure, non-primitive linear data structure where each element is a separate object. Means every element is considered an object, and in similar way we can say that each element we call it a node. So it is a particularly collection of nodes. Linked list, it is basically collection of nodes. What are these nodes? We will discuss it later on in the part. First of all, we have to focus on our definition. So linked list is basically a collection of nodes. So these nodes are connected. Every node has basically two parts. One is called as data part and another one is called as address part. So here this linked list I have shown in an example here. So this is one type of linked list where it is having four nodes like this, 1, 2, 3, 4. These four nodes are given in this linked list. So every node, like this is first node, so this is our first node. So in this first node we can observe that this linked list having two parts. One is called as data and another part is given as the name as next. Basically this part it is called as address part. Address part of the linked list consists of address of the next node. If it is first node, then it will consist address of the next node, and if it is last node, then in this address part null value will be stored. Means this indicates there is no further node, there is end of this linked list. So in this way the linked list consists of different nodes and they are connected to each other like this. This is the first node which is connected to the next node. So this address part consisting of the address of the next node. So in this way here there will be a pointer variable which will store the address of this node. Similarly this node is connected to another node like this, and the address part of this particular node will consist of address of this node. Same way the address of this particular node will be consisting or stored in this address part of this node. And as this is the last node, that's why in the address part of this node we have stored null value. So in this way the linked list is nothing but it is the collection of nodes which consist of generally two parts. One is called as data part and another one part is called as address part. Data part is called will store the values of certain data, and address part will store the address of the next location. if this particular node is the first node and if the linked list is having more than one node, then this address part will store the address of the next node. If the linked list consisting of the node and if the node is having the last node, if that node is last node, so in the address part of that last node we store null value. This indicates that there is an end of the linked list. So in this way, the linked list can be defined as it is the collection of nodes. Every node has two parts. One is called as a data part, another part is called as address part. And data part will store certain values of the variable and address part will store the address of the nodes. If it is first node and if the linked list is having more than one node, so the first node will store the address of the next node. In this way, the address part will store the address of the next node, and if it is the last node, so in that case, the address part will store the value null. That indicates that it is the end of the linked list. So in this way, the linked list will have the connected nodes, and each node has data and address part. Okay, so this is regarding the introductory part of the linked list. Now the question arises here: why to use linked list? What is the advantage of using linked list? And already we are having the data types or data structures that can store certain values, that can store n number of values. So why we have to use linked list? So we'll go for this particular aspect of this one is that one disadvantage of using array to store data in that array are static structure and therefore cannot be easily extended or reduced to fit the data set. Arrays are also expensive to maintain new insertion and deletion like this. So first and foremost thing we have to remember that whatever values we are going to store in the arrays, they are of static in nature. They are of static in nature. So we have to understand what is the meaning of static here. Static means once stored, they cannot be changed or cannot be reduced or extended. We cannot reduce the size of the array once we declare the array and once we use the array. Similarly, we cannot extend the size of the array if the need arises. So in this way, the insertion and deletion operations in the array are more expensive. Means we have to write down more algorithms, more complicated algorithms to insert and delete the values from that array. So this is one type of disadvantage of array, that they are static in nature. During the runtime, if the need arises, we cannot increase or we cannot delete or we cannot decrease the size of the array as per our need. This is one thing we have to remember that. If we declare one array of size 100 and we are storing only 50 values in that array, means remaining 50 locations of that array we are going to waste simply, and we are wasting the memory in that case also. So this type of certain things are there which are attached with the arrays, so they are having certain disadvantages. So we go for that particular structure. They are dynamic in nature, that can be extended or that can be reduced as per our requirement, and there is a concept of linked list used in that case. Now coming to this part of the linked list. So a linked list is a dynamic data structure. The number of nodes in a list is not fixed. We can grow or shrink on demand. Any application which has to deal with an unknown number of objects will need to use linked list. So we use linked list in such a situation that we have unknown objects. We don't know how much objects will be required during the execution of the program. So dynamically we can shrink or we can increase the size of the linked list or size of that particular data structure. So in that case we use the linked list. Now coming to disadvantage of linked list. One disadvantage of linked list is that it does not allow direct access to individual elements. If you want to access particular item, then you have to start at the head and follow the reference until you get the item. So here even one disadvantage I have highlighted here, that linked list, in that case, that in between that particular linked list, if you want to access a particular element or particular node, so we don't have direct access to that. First we have to start from the first node, that is head node, and we have to traverse to that particular middle node. So in that way we have to use the linked list. Second disadvantage is that linked list use more memory compared to array, like that. So as it is a complex data structure, it has some disadvantage also, that it is using lower memory, and it is having one disadvantage, that we cannot directly access the elements of the linked list. We have to start from the node. Now coming to the types of the linked list. So singly linked list, where doubly linked list, singly linked list. So here first of all we are going to focus on singly linked list. Then we'll go for the doubly linked list. So singly linked list is described as above, that it is having collection of nodes. Each node consists of two parts, data and address part. First node consisting the address of the next node. If it is last node, then in the address part we are going to store the null value. Similarly, the next type is that doubly linked list. So it is having two references, means it is having two address parts. So first address part is like this, second address part is like this. If it is first node, then in the first address part we are going to store the next address, and in the first address part we are going to store the address of previous node. So in this way the linked list will have the two address part, and they are going to store the address of the previous and next node. First node will consist null value in the address part, and first node will consist of address of the next node. In this way the doubly linked list will having the two address part. So in this way these linked lists are classified based upon how they are used, either they are singly or doubly linked list. So in our next videos we are going to discuss more issues or more types and more operations related to linked list. Thank you very much.